A Monday edition of the Sports Huddle on SEMO ESPN Radio. Eric Shawn and the lead singer of the Mike Rennick Band in studio. As always, we want you to be a part of the presentation. Our EBOMD Huddle Hotline number, 573-334-1220. 573-334-1220. The Huddle Hotline is powered by EBOMD. Mr. Michael Rennick in the house. Woo. We had a lot going on.
Take a breath.
A lot going on over the weekend.
Busy. Let's just get right to it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a question. You gotta start with that walk-off double Jordan Walker hit
Saturday night
at Busch Stadium. I mean, that's where you start, right?
That's right. Hey, 4.5 games out of the wild card, 18 to go. So you're saying there's a chance?
I know there's a chance.
Crazier things have happened.
Not as crazy as what happened in
as we saw last night.
Buffalo, New York, last night.
Man, what a game.
I mean, that's, if you kind of break it all down with all due respect to Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. Congratulations to Alcaraz winning his second U.S. Open at age 22. But, I mean, I think the number one story in sports over the weekend has to be that football game in Buffalo last night, right?
Especially on a national level. That would for sure probably take the cake. I mean, we knew that it was a featured game, obviously, being the Sunday night game, and did it live up to the billing? No pun intended there by any means. But
wow, yeah, you dropped it. Billing.
I mean, just two Goliath teams, back and forth, and obviously looked like the Ravens were pulling away and the Bills were done, but. Hey, the reigning MVP Josh Allen said not too fast here, Ravens.
Gave it a Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend.
That's right.
All right, so some of the minutia and factoids involving this game in Buffalo last night, which, by the way, they move into their new stadium next year. So it's the final season opener / home opener at that stadium, which, you know, when I was growing up, it's Rich Stadium. That's what it was called. It's got a new name now. But what a way to christen the final season there. And I think there are big question marks about both of these teams' defense. And I said, you know, when we did our NFL predictions, I just don't trust Buffalo's defense. You see why last night, but man, their offense is good.
If you can score 41 points on a regular basis, that might help offset some of your defensive woes. But because who are you going to face in the league who's got an offense like the Ravens?
Probably nobody.
And
the running ability, and they can throw the football.
Yeah, and you're able to get it done. But that's the question mark.
That's the thing. All the stars had great games.
Showed up.
They all had great games. So, some of the factoids for this game. First of all, you witnessed multiple bits of history in the National Football League last night. Never before had the reigning MVP and the year's previous MVP and guys that finished 1-2 in the MVP voting the season before, had they ever met opening week in the NFL. So we had that.
Okay.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. That had never happened. And in the history of the National Football League, every single team, all 277 of them, who scored 40 points and rushed for 235-plus yards, won that game. It had happened 277 times. The team scored 40 and ran for over 235 yards. And those teams were 277-0.
Wow.
Josh Allen said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, he did.
So the first time it's ever happened that it. Here's the thing. Agree or disagree. When there is an epic comeback and when you're down 15 in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes to play.
And fans are leaving.
Yes.
Fans are leaving.
Fans are departing the football stadium. Would you qualify that as an epic comeback?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And I believe with an epic comeback, with every epic comeback, there is an equal or greater collapse on the other side.
Yeah,
is that fair?
It's probably fair.
Okay.
And something has to happen, obviously, which, there was a key fumble, late in the game. That
Of all people, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
But he didn't just cough it up on his own. I mean, the ball got punched out. It's a good play.
Right. But those sort of things, you need big plays. That was a big play on defense for them.
So there's a guy on the Baltimore Ravens sideline as their head coach, John Harbaugh, who's putting together a Hall of Fame caliber resume. Super Bowl. It's got one.
Mm-hmm.
So he's putting together a heck of a resume, and whether or not he's a Hall of Fame coach, we'll know years down the road. Does he have a Super Bowl roster this year? Sure looks like it. But that is the 17th time that John Harbaugh's Ravens, 17th time they have blown a double-digit lead in the second half of a game. That is the most in the NFL since 1991.
So in addition, time?
In addition to the 277-0 when you score 40 and rush for at least 235, it's also the 17th double-digit second-half lead that the Baltimore Ravens have failed to close out under John Harbaugh.
Well, and that could be part of the question mark around him if he's a Hall of Fame head coach or not. I mean, if you're a Hall of Fame head coach, you're getting it done, aren't you?
Well, if he wins the Super Bowl this year, that's multiple Super Bowls.
That would probably...
that usually gets you in.
Yeah. Normally we're talking all these kind of quirky stats with baseball. It's the first time ever or hadn't happened. Only 3. I mean, you don't hear it a lot when it comes to football. Maybe just because, there's just the type of folks that follow baseball may be different than football. But when you have a game like that, you're sure to have some of these unbelievable stats that you're tossing out right now. Topped off by a guy that was kicking at his local high school before the Bills had a need at kicker. Just a
Matt Prater,
unbelievable storyline.
Tyler Bass is their normal field goal kicker for Buffalo. Out. Matt Prater, is he 41 years old?
Yeah.
Steps up there, kicks the game winner, and fans were leaving the stadium. I mean, with 4 minutes left, they're down 40-25. They're down by 15 points. And the Sunday night Sunday night football last night caught up with Josh Allen after the game on the field. He addressed the fact that the fans were headed for the exits.
Josh came over and said, what did that mean?
There's just no quitting this team. Welcome to Buffalo. I mean, what a vet, taking the game-winning field goal in a tough, weird situation you don't see too often. He came in prepared, ready to go. Our team didn't quit. I mean, I think there's people that left the stadium. That's okay. We'll be fine, but have some faith next time.
Yes.
Have some faith next time, Joshua Allen.
Well, he's right. I mean, you got a team like the Bills. You have him at the helm, leading the team. I get it. You may want to, you got school tomorrow. You want to try to find a quick way out. But, man, oh, man. Those two teams, you never know what's going to happen, and obviously the unthinkable did. So stick around for it. Watch it.
I'm telling you, some weeks you don't have great finishes or great games, but man, oh man, when you talk about the ratings that the NFL gets, it's because it always delivers. It just does. So there are 32 NFL teams, meaning if everyone plays on an NFL weekend, you get 16 games. We've had 15 games played so far. One more tonight in Chicago, Vikings-Bears.
That could be a good game.
Could be. Of the 15 that have already been played in the National Football League starting Thursday, Cowboys-Eagles, and then the Chiefs, who apparently boarded the flight down to Brazil without a pass rush on Friday. Of the 15 games, Mike, 11 of the 15 were decided by one score. These are close games that go down to the wire.
Yeah, I was
11 of the 15.
That's the way they set it up, and I didn't get to watch a ton of the games yesterday until last night, but just keeping track of the scores, and yeah, there was. I mean, every one of them was right there. Even the Chiefs game,
That was a one-score game.
One-score game.
So the only games that were not one-score finals, the Packers won by 14 at home over the Lions, 27-13. It was the Jacksonville Jaguars, 26-10 over the Panthers, so that game got spread out. The New York Giants, and they're already uncommittal. Brian Daboll, the head coach of the Giants, not committing publicly to Russell Wilson to be the starting quarterback week 2 after a 21-6 loss. So speculation, Jackson Dart could get the start. Commanders win 21-6. They did score a late touchdown. It was a tighter game. And then the only other game that was a blowout, I'm not sure that officially the Miami Dolphins are still in the football business. They still have a team. This was a beatdown by the, are you kidding me? The Indianapolis Colts, 33-6. Daniel Jones.
I wish I had my pick back on that one.
You're not kidding.
That was terrible.
And I thought, now I'm not saying that the Patriots are not going to make the playoffs. That was my big reach on my preseason predictions that the New England Patriots under Mike Vrabel are going to make the playoffs. They end up losing week 1 to the Raiders at home. Big win for Pete Carroll. It was a cool scene in the locker room. They gave Pete Carroll the game ball, everything. They went crazy in the locker room. So that was cool. So that was my big reach on our preseason predictions, was that the Patriots would make the Super Bowl, and they lose at home. But, I mean, these games were close.
Yeah, I think if you look at who lost, the Detroit game, and at least in my opinion, and the Miami game would be the two games that just, those guys didn't bring anything. Detroit looked like a totally different team offensively, which their coordinators now with the Bears. Is that correct, Ben Johnson?
They lost both their coordinators. Aaron Glenn is their defensive coordinator, the head coach of the Jets.
There you go. And they played better.
Yeah.
They played better. So
they had a chance to win that football game, just couldn't. They're the Jets. They're not going to win that game.
That's right.
And Aaron Rodgers throws for 4 tutties against the Jets. And then when asked about it afterwards,
leg feels good.
Took a little shot at the Jets. And I don't know if this is a misprint. Maybe it is. The Arizona Cardinals won.
Ah, that is not a misprint, sir. Yes, they beat the
one of the best
New Orleans
teams,
Saints.
One of the best teams in the NFL is who they beat.
That's right.
Let's be honest.
That's correct.
The New Orleans Saints.
They targeted Marvin Harris Jr. quite a bit, which I know was one of your complaints.
Get Marvin Harrison the ball, please.
Yeah.
5 catches, 71, and a touch. Spencer Rattler, no touchdowns. Quarterback for the Saints.
So, yeah,
What a good win for your Cards.
I'd say it's a good win. I'll take it. Hey, Cardinals are 1-0. Your Chiefs are 0-1.
It's let me couple of things.
I
on
had to turn
Chiefs.
the page and get over to those Chiefs.
Couple of things on the Chiefs. 2 things. First of all, on 4th and 13, I don't know how Justin Herbert is able to run for a first down and then they run the clock out. Chris Jones took responsibility after the game, and he should have.
Took a bad angle.
He should have taken responsibility. The pass rush was brutal. Herbert is good, I understand. 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards. There was no pass rush. It's only one game. And I will revert back. Do you remember what happened in the first game of the NFL season 2 years ago at Arrowhead?
Man, that's a while ago.
Yeah, the Detroit Lions came in there and beat the Chiefs 21-20. Do you remember how that season ended?
I do. I think there was a championship banner unveiled.
There was a Super Bowl title for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So let's pump the brakes. The Chiefs are dead, and Mahomes is the 8th-ranked quarterback in the NFL. Can we calm down? But that doesn't mean that I did not hate the fact that they lost the football game to Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers.
Well, you can compare to 2 years ago, and that's fine. And I realize they made it to the Super Bowl last year as well.
And they lost that game at home to Detroit. National TV, they lost at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
This was in Brazil.
But look at how many games they eked out last season. They were not competitive in the Super Bowl, were
That
they?
is not sustainable to win every close game.
Well, that's my point.
It's just not.
They're a different team than they were 2 years ago. I mean,
And last year.
Travis Kelce, older.
Had a touchdown catch.
Do they have a receiving core at all right now?
Well,
and one of the guys got hurt. Thanks to Travis Kelce.
Xavier Worthy runs into Kelce, and the report is he dislocated his shoulder.
That's what it looked like.
First quarter.
Yeah.
And I saw a report that said he is going to try and play with a brace. I've seen that. We've seen guys play with braces. I mean, heck, Bryce Norman, man, 2 years ago when he suffered that shoulder injury, that dude played through it with this big brace on his shoulder. You're talking about a linebacker who has to make tackles with that shoulder. A little different than a receiver having to raise his arms up maybe to make a catch. So it has been done. I don't know how it's going to affect Xavier Worthy. We'll see. And they don't get Rashee Rice, their best receiver, until 5 more weeks.
Right. It was, third play of the game, Kelce took him out.
That was it. I'm broadcasting the Jackson game. See this alert that Worthy's out. What's going on?
But even with, at that, and I'm not saying he wouldn't have made a difference, but it just seems like Mahomes is kind of on an island, It's like he has to create everything, and how long is that sustainable for?
Did you see that pass he made where he was falling down and it just lofted it up?
Yeah.
I know it's just one play. It was a first down toss, but it was pretty cool. So it's a loss, and could the Chiefs be looking at 0-2? Oh, by the way, you get the Super Bowl champs in your building, and it's going to be Sunday, 3:25 kickoff.
Yeah, that's
Chiefs-Eagles.
That's going to be a tough one for them. I forgot that they had the Eagles come in their direction.
So
you could talk about Rice coming back in 5 more weeks, but where are you at in the standings when he comes back?
Right. It's not like they're bereft of receiving talent. They've still got some dudes, but, you would like to have Xavier Worthy. Let's see the early line. Chiefs-Eagles. The Drunken Birds are favored by 1.5.
1.5 on the road.
Yep. Good. They should be favored.
Yeah, they should be.
What happened when they got on the field last week? It was 34-0 before the Chiefs showed any signs of life. They're better than the Chiefs until proven otherwise.
That is the case.
And
they're better than everybody until...
That's coming from a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just the way it is.
Seemed like Mahomes was protected a little bit better than the last we saw.
Yeah.
Didn't see him, running for his life the entire game.
It's a different pass rush, and Jalen Carter, I'm sure, is going to be in there as long as he didn't spit on anybody else. I think he's
spit on Mahomes.
You got to think he's learned his lesson. I mean, he's getting crushed in every direction. All right, so I think those were some of the major storylines in the National Football League. The storylines locally, the SEMO football team, nice win at home over North Alabama. They were down 7-0 after one quarter, came roaring back, and, it got tighter late in the game as North Alabama scored a couple of late touchdowns. But it's still a 2-score victory at home. We'll talk it over with Coach Took. We'll be at Wings Etc. in Cape at 12 noon today. I'm sure he's not happy about giving up 440 yards. I'm sure he is not happy about the fact that North Alabama ran for 280 yards. They had a bunch of chunk plays. But what matters most is how many points did you give up?
Yeah, there wasn't many till the very end.
You didn't give up yards. How many points are you giving up?
The bend but don't break.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to hear what he has to say about the game. I mean, it's always good to get the victory at home as you open up your home schedule. And another good crowd again Saturday night. Beautiful weather. And I think going into that game, were they was it a 20-point favorite going into the game? Was that the line going in?
I didn't see the line.
I don't know if it was 20. They were basically there until the end.
And it was good night passing for Jax Leatherwood. 21, 33, 2 touchdowns. Now he got sacked 4 times in the first half. Their pass rush gave SEMO trouble, and the Redhawks made the adjustments, protected him more after that. But solid home debut for Leatherwood. I mean, I saw a lot of good things, and I'm sure the coach saw things that he'll want to talk about at the coaches show today.
Yeah, absolutely. 12 o'clock, Wings.
So here is the, let me see. We got the biggest play. Let's see, the biggest play of the game here. This was the touchdown to Cam Pedro.
24 for 108 yards passing. And he sets up a screen pass. It is complete to midfield. First down. And there goes Cam Pedro. He is gone. 55 yards, the touchdown for Cam Pedro. Leatherwood hooks up on a little screen on third down. And Cam Pedro with a house call.
What'd you think of the crowd on Saturday night?
I saw, or I guess you told me beforehand, the attendance. It looked bigger than, you said it was, a little under 4,000 or so?
The official attendance on the box score, 3890.
38-90.
Seemed bigger than that.
It seemed bigger than that, yeah.
What do I know?
Yeah. It seemed bigger, but but again, everybody, into the game and a good festive atmosphere beforehand. Gets everybody primed up and ready for it. So,
boy, you're always out accepting some sort of a token, an award, something on the field.
It's just a handshake now.
Just a handshake. Happen to see a Mike Rennick sighting out on the field. Tell us about that. I mean, clearly you were signing some autographs.
No. We're media sponsor, and you're busy. You're busy at halftime, so Rachel and I decided to go out and accept on your behalf of all the hard work that you put in.
And so what about the tailgate? Give us a recap. I was unable to get down to the tent, but I did take a video that I sent to my girls. Hey, check out the tailgating. And I panned my phone with the video camera going all the way down the block. And I mean, it was.
Yeah, I think it picked up where last season left off, from our area right there, across from the main entrance of Houck to down the street. And again, I mean, I hate to keep saying it, but just the weather was just so fantastic, and good. Good crowd.
I actually wore sleeves, and I had them pulled up, early in the game, but it got Weezer went for the jacket.
Did he?
Second half, Weeze had to put on the jacket.
Didn't appear there was much of a breeze. Maybe it was a little breezier up where you were at.
We've got these big, thick curtains up in the chicken coop.
Saw those.
So we can pull the curtains up in the chicken coop closed, so if there's any wind now, if it's blowing right in your face, that's a different deal. The playoff game against Illinois State, my buddy Mike Young from Patrick Furniture hooked me up with a little portable propane heater, so we were rolling as far as that goes, and those big heavy curtains kept the wind, which was blowing at our backs. So if we ever have a game where it's blowing in our face, that'll be a different story. We don't have any plexiglass or anything there, but we do have the curtains behind us, so that's good.
Yeah. We were watching the game because we were waiting to go out for the
autograph
sponsor
signing
deal. Yeah, from like the corner of the end zone. Not the best place to be able to see the action on the field from.
Yeah.
It's just not. Not the
we're in the east
angle.
End zone where the tents are. And
correct.
The high rollers.
Well, I was on the side.
You were
there.
with your people, the high dollar rollers. I understand.
Yeah,
we get it.
It's just not the easiest. You see somebody. Hey, how you doing? Hey, there's a football game. That's
I got my Sharpie. What do you need, son?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it ran out. That one ran out. Give me another one. No, I had my kids with me. Two of my kids. So was chasing them around a little bit.
They probably thought it was cool to go on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And then that's pretty. At the end of the game, SEMO's really good about, once everyone's cleared off, then kind of the floodgates open and the kids go flying out there and, they race and
I saw two
throw
people
footballs around.
I saw two people throwing the football on the field after, all the teams have cleared out, and they allow people to, go out there and run around. And as a parent, you don't mind your kids running around and burning off some of that energy before you head home on a Saturday night. But I did see a couple of high school guys throwing the ball around. It was Kai McDowell, Jeremy McDowell's son, the sophomore quarterback at Saxony. And the head coach is O.J. Turner, and his son was out there. So he and McDowell were out there tossing around the football. And the only reason I noticed it is because Saxony coach Rick Weezer pointed it out to me.
Yeah. They're out there getting used to that playing surface, maybe. Is that what it is?
That's it. Let's face it, man. If you're a football player and you just sat there and watched a college football game and you have the ability to get out on the field, maybe toss a football around, you're going on the field.
You are. Yeah, you are. Well, heck, they just got to win on that field 2 nights prior, so kind of starting to feel like it's their place.
It's their home stadium.
Now, did I hear Ryan Flournoy at the game? Did you hear that by chance? Or
that's the first I've heard of it.
I know he's popped in occasionally, I think, whenever there's been time to do it, but there was a murmur that he may have been at the stadium. I know sometimes whenever they have recruits, coming to the game and they're able to kind of showcase, hey, here's one of our guys that was with us recently that's now playing for the Dallas Cowboys. That's a nice player to feature for potential recruits.
I'm checking the Twitter account of SEMO Pro Athletes. They do a good job of keeping you up to date on that, and I don't see a mention that he was at the game. That doesn't mean that he wasn't there. We might have one or two of our 18 listeners who were at the game and have that information, whether or not Ryan Flournoy was there. What I do know about who is going to be where is at the coaches show today, in addition to Coach Tuke, Cole Rubel is going to be there.
Nice.
Red Hawk running back. Had a big 51-yard run in the game on Saturday night. And unfortunately for the Red Hawks, they did lose 3 players to injury now. Jared Pedraza, the linebacker, went out to the sideline. I didn't know about McCoy Casey, their all-conference pass rusher. I didn't hear about his injury until Coach Tuke brought it up. We knew about Anthony Westerveld, who we thought originally it was Brandon Epton. It was on the other side of the field.
That was right there, yeah.
It was after an Epton run. So we were, the whole time that they were bringing the card out, we were talking about Epton, and he's unlucky with injuries, missed 9 weeks last year because of a car wreck. And then once they sit him up and our cameras are on him for ESPN, we see it's 84. It's Anthony Westerveld. So I apologize. We thought it was Epton. And it was Westerveld, and they braced up his left leg. And when they bring the card on,
yeah, not a good sign.
It's usually a long-term thing, so we're not going to speculate, but that may be it for Westerveld. We'll get some sort of an injury update when we talk with Coach Tuke. But what we do know is that SEMO is going to play the best FCS team in the country on Saturday. They will be over in Fargo, North Dakota, to take on North Dakota State, who, by the way, boat raced Tennessee State in Nashville 59-3 on Saturday.
Man. Yeah, that's going to be an experience for SEMO, which I know that's why, Coach Tuke and the department wants to go. I mean, it's like you want to be top of the heap. This is what it looks like. So
they're going to get $265,000 plus North Dakota State will pay for their buses. Red Hawks always, when they fly somewhere, they've got 3 buses that will pick them up. They'll be out on the tarmac. I mean, they'll land in Fargo, get off the bus get off the plane, and the buses will be right there out on the flight line. So $265 plus the bus fees, and then they got $325 from Arkansas State. So a little under $600,000. That's why they're playing 2 money games. But I know it did kind of surprise me that North Dakota State's a money game. It's a fellow FCS. I mean, clearly they're on another level than most FCS programs. But SEMO's getting $265K to go play that game at the Fargo Dome.
Yeah, I mean it'll be a tough game for them, obviously, but it'll be a great experience. And we were talking about crowds at Houck. I mean, you don't want to look ahead, I know, but as a fan, you're maybe looking ahead to the next time that SEMO's at home, and that next game will be against the Salukis. So I would imagine that the stands will be a little more crammed for that matchup in 2 weeks.
Salukis played a money game against Purdue. I think they scored a couple of touchdowns, but they lost to Purdue, who is Worst team in the Big Ten, it's them or Northwestern, right?
Fair enough.
There's nobody worse than that. And speaking of the Big Ten, how about Illinois going on the road and beating Duke? And it's not just that they went on the road and beat Duke, but they are now ranked in the top 10. The AP poll came out last night, and Illinois checks in at 29. Mizzou checks in at number 25 as they win the border war with Kansas. 42-31. Mizzou had 595 yards of offense, but still had to rally for 14 fourth-quarter points to win the game. And Bo Perbula was, wow. I mean, he's got to be, at least right now, considered among the elite quarterbacks in the Southeastern Conference. 30 of 39, 334 through the air, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I think that scores a little bit of a little closer than maybe the game felt. It seemed like Mizzou kind of put it on Kansas pretty good, and there were, but that first half there were just some, I know there was a scoop and score that took place,
right,
and just a couple oddities that made it a whole lot closer than it felt like it should have been. And obviously the Tigers dominated the second quarter and then tied it and were able to push ahead into the second half. But
with 8:45 to go, Missouri was trailing 31-28.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that game could have gone in another direction.
Yeah.
But they pulled away at the end, and that's all that matters. And one of the things that jumps out to me is, I'm not saying that Kansas was trying to make a commitment to the running game. They had 28 yards rushing against Missouri. 19 carries, 28 yards. If you're scoring at home, that is an average per rush of 1.5 yards.
Well, if they were trying to run, Mizzou sure did a good job of stopping them. Did you see the was it the halftime kick? Did you see the story about that? That the gentleman who was won something. He won some like Instagram contest.
Okay.
That was going to allow him to kick a field goal. Maybe it wasn't halftime. Maybe it's at a media timeout.
Okay.
SEMO will run the.
At some point during the game, they ran a kicking contest.
Yeah, and he found out. I think it was a $25,000 prize he could win, but he found out at some point that it was going to be a 45-yard field goal.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's like,
he's got no shot.
I got no shot. There's no way I can do this. So he obviously didn't tell them prior to, but instead of kicking the field goal, he turned and he kicked the ball at the Kansas sidelines. So they were on the team was on the field. It must have been a media timeout, and he's a Mizzou alum. He actually, I think, was on Team USA for wheelchair basketball.
Okay.
So he's got he's got some athleticism in him, but he was like, I can't kick a 45-yard field goal. 35-year-old guy, I think, and just grew up as a kid. It was always going to Tiger games, all this stuff, and he's like, I hate Kansas. I hate the state of Kansas. So I'm going to make a statement. He had the letters. I think it was. God, what did he have on his
something
chest?
written on his chest. I think I saw the picture.
Yeah, and then he turns and he fires the ball.
Was it an FU Kansas?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. So, needless to say, he's made a lot of friends.
Oh,
his Sharpie is probably going to run dry very quickly.
Legendary status.
And he's like, I know that I helped the Tigers win that game. I brought the crowd alive and brought the team alive. And anyway, that was a fun little kind of side note.
And they did
game.
not rush the field, by the way.
Good.
Did not storm the field.
Good news.
They did in Starkville. Stark Vegas. Mississippi State won, and they they rush the field. So
they're paying some money.
Yeah, they're gonna. I don't know. They haven't won many big games.
If they've done it before.
They beat Arizona State. They got their quarterback back. Arizona State does. Then Scattaboo. It's not the same team that went to the college football playoff last year, but a nice win nonetheless for struggling Mississippi State.
So Kentucky will get the money, right? Because that was a conference game.
Yeah,
isn't that how that works?
Yeah,
if you're playing against a conference team,
they get it.
They get the money.
Yeah.
If it's a non-conference, it goes to the
graduate
program or something like that.
I think it was Ole Miss that beat Kentucky. So that's. I think it was.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
I think it was Mississippi State and Arizona State, but still,
some of that money
you're
goes
beating
to
a college football playoff team,
right?
They were one of the talks. I mean, picked to finish dead last in their conference.
And if you were following the we kind of talked about the storyline of Arkansas State and Arkansas
boat race,
who have never played, and they will probably never play again after that loss. Arkansas just smoking Arkansas State.
I think Arkansas had like 600 yards of offense in the game.
Is that what it was?
Against Arkansas State. And one more note about Mizzou. Mike, 2 100-yard rushers, man. Jamal Roberts ran for 143 and a touch. Ahmad Hardy 112, and he got into the end zone. So a lot of positives. Now you've got Louisiana. I think Missouri's favored by 3 touchdowns. That's the early line that I saw this morning. So
when do they play somebody for real? I know the Kansas game was real-ish, but
okay, they've got Louisiana next week. Not this Saturday. Next week, South Carolina comes in. Now they played South Carolina State, but South Carolina is good.
Yeah, that'll be the test for them.
Then they get UMass at home. If somehow you navigate by South Carolina,
you'd be 4-0 before
you could be 5-0 before Alabama.
5-0.
They come in October 11th. That's an 11 a.m. game. It's already been announced. So you could be 5-0. Got to take care of business, though.
Absolutely.
I'm not nervous hosting the Raging Cajuns, but South Carolina is really good. I don't know. Are they ranked? They get in the rankings this week. I just had the rankings pulled up. Let's see. By the way, Auburn, number 24, just ahead of Missouri. Let me see. Yeah, South Carolina is 11th. So they were 11th last week. So they're top 15. You got a top 15 team coming into Columbia a week from Saturday.
And so barring a loss, they'll be ranked higher than Mizzou coming into that game.
Right. And, I mean, Mizzou's not going to lose to the Raging Cajuns.
Right, but it probably won't elevate their ranking a whole lot.
Correct.
Unless everybody else above them loses, I guess. But that'd be a good matchup.
Florida loses at home to South Florida. Billy Napier. Whew. How hot do you think that seat is down in Gainesville?
Probably at least humid.
Holy smokes! Not a good day to be a Gator fan. All right, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals in a wild card chase.
Are you calling it a chase now?
Yes.
Okay. I like it.
Nobody was hotter than the San Francisco Giants when they came to Busch Stadium, and we had a Cardinal Hall of Fame class induction. Talk about it when we come back. Don't forget Coach's Show, Wings Etc. at noon. We'll talk with Coach Tuke. Sports Huddle. Sports Huddle, SEMO, ESPN, 1220 AM, 93.5 FM, and online at SEMOESPN.com. Eric Sean, And Mike Rennick in studio. Our EBOMD Huddle Hotline number 573-334-1220. 573-334-1220. The San Francisco Giants came into Busch Stadium, Mike, and after beating the Cardinals on Friday night, they had won 10 of their last 11 games. They were red hot, and then the Cardinals beat them 3-2 on the walk-off two-run double by Jordan Walker. It was a ground ball down the third base line. Still, a walk-off by Jordan Walker, 3-2 Saturday, and Sonny Gray took a no-hitter into the sixth, didn't get through the sixth inning, but they were up 4-0, had to hold on, but they did hold on, beat the Giants 4-3 in Game 2. Cardinals back to 500. It's 4.5 out in the wild card with 18 to go. The St. Louis Cardinals have one homestand remaining in the season. They have 12 games left. Sorry, they have 18 games left. What I meant to say, 12 are on the road, 6 are at home.
Oh, one homestand, though. So
one homestand.
2 series left. Okay.
After this is a 6-game road trip, 3 in Seattle, 3 in Milwaukee. They're off Thursday. They come home for the final homestand, Reds, Brewers, and they finish the season 3 at San Fran, 3 at Wrigley. So they've got one homestand left. 18 games left. Only 6 of the 18 are at home.
Well,
I mean, it's almost done.
It is. And they go to Seattle starting tonight?
Yeah, 8:40.
That's well, if you have a pulse for making the playoffs and the wild card, I mean, it's going to be a tough series that you got ahead of you. I don't know who the other teams play, but
Seattle's fighting, man. They've lost 6 of 10, but they won back-to-back games against the Braves, 18-2. They beat the Braves yesterday. Cal Raleigh, home run number 53. But the Mariners right now are sitting in the third wild card slot. They're only a game and a half up on the surging Texas Rangers and only 2 ahead of the Royals.
Yeah, so they're fighting as well. And you got to be honest, the Friday, my attention was pretty much on the Chiefs, so I didn't really watch much of the Cardinals or listen to much of it. And they lost, and you're like, okay, here we go. And then the weekend was so busy, with everything else that I kind of caught up on the scores just at the end of the night. So
I did not watch one single pitch of Cardinal baseball over the weekend.
I mean, man, this is that time of the year where there's so much going on.
I'm a baseball guy.
Same here.
And I have not totally given up until they're mathematically eliminated. The Cardinals still have a shot. Not a good shot, but I didn't see anything. I mean, I had some things going on, but still, I was wrapped up in the football.
I watched the final 2 innings yesterday, so I saw the game-ending double play, which I think that was yesterday. I think that's how the game ended. Giants had a runner on, and able to get the double play to end the game. But it's like this is kind of like we had this conversation every so often. You think, they're out of it. They're below 500, and then here they go. They're back to 500, and they're creeping in there again, and just what ownership has wanted, right? Just enough to keep the fan base enticed. A few more people were at the game yesterday. I think they were just under 30,000 maybe at the game yesterday.
Well, Hall of Fame.
It was,
and,
Yeah, that's right.
It was Al Raboski, Edgar Renteria, and the late Walt Jocketty.
That's correct. Yeah.
85 team was there.
Yep. Yadier Molina was back in the dugout.
Yeah, that was fun.
Who do you think invites him to do that?
The first time we know it was Ollie.
Ollie Marmol did.
I'm sure he had to run it up the flagpole prior to making. I would guess he probably did it again. I don't have confirmation on that.
Well, that'd be my guess, but probably an odd situation to say, hey, we're going to invite Yadier Molina, and he's going to be in your dugout for the whole weekend. So, probably.
But I mean, Ollie talked about it that he reached out to Yadi and wanted him the first time that he was there.
Well, good to see him there, and
it was 29,923 the official attendance last night.
Cardinals didn't have much of a chance Friday. Just keeping an eye on it, a little bit with we had 2 or 3 runs in the first inning given up by McGreevy, who's 6-3, by the way. I didn't realize he had that good of a record. But just no offense for the Cardinals on Friday, and he
gave up 6 runs in 4 innings, McGreevy.
Yeah, and they found a way Saturday night and got it done yesterday. So
they were over 25,000 all games,
Ooh.
all 3 games.
Wow, making up for that. What was it, the Pirate series we were talking about?
Yeah.
They were sub 20, but there's still no signs of your boy JJ Weatherholt, right? Still no Weatherholt sightings.
Weatherholt in his last 2 games, 1 for 7.
Then there's no way he's going to make an appearance with the big club.
But my guy Matt Swanson got it done again yesterday. I want to point out, since July 1st, and today is September 8th, so is that a pretty good sample size if I give you numbers since July 1st?
I would say so, yeah.
For Swanson. 18 appearances. Mike, it's a 147 ERA.
Wow.
147 ERA in his last 18 appearances since July 1st.
That's getting it done.
Would you at least take a look at him as a starter or no?
As a starter, I think you take a look at everybody. There's just, we don't foresee what Miles Michaelis coming back. You got question marks about Andre Palante. So I think the auditions are wide open for starters for next season.
So the Cardinals are calling up a pitcher, a left-hander named Nick Rackett, who's 29 years old. He has a 1.68 ERA across AA and AAA, although in AAA his ERA is 4.05 in 11 games for Memphis. Not terrible, but not eye-popping. But he is coming up because they've had enough of a taste of Andre Granillo. I can't get any more tastes of Granillo. He's going back down. And Alec Burleson activated off the injured list. That is expected to be official today. And it was great while it lasted, Mike. Garrett Hampson, DFA'd.
Oh, he's gone?
By the Cardinals. DFA.
Well, I hate to see him go.
Everybody getting the call up from Memphis, not named J.J. Weatherholt. Everybody.
I don't know what's going on there.
Why was Garrett Hampson even on the major league ride? It's just...
Was it whatever series it was that they grabbed him beforehand? He had like good numbers against one of the pitchers in that series, and that didn't pan out. But yeah, no idea.
Did not translate. And before we get out of here with the Cardinals, the 85 team was there. A lot of members of the 85 team with Hall of Fame weekend. But I do want to throw this out there. Anytime you can get a Jack Buck reference, it's good. Mike, on this day in 1998, actually on this day yesterday, in 1998. Now, during the Cardinals season of 98, it was not a good year. They did not make the playoffs. So the Mark McGwire thing was what we remember from the 1998 season. Yesterday, back in 1998, September 7th, Mark McGwire sitting on 60 home runs against the Cubs.
Here it comes to McGwire. Swing! Look at there! Look at there! Look at there! McGwire's number 61. McGwire's flight 61, headed for Planet Maris. Home run McGwire, 61. History. Bedlam. What a moment. Shaking hands with the third baseman of the Cubs. Pardon me while I stand up and applaud. Mark McGwire picks up his son Matt, points to the fans, points to the police on the field, greeted by his teammates. He's even with Mark McGwire. What a Cardinal moment this is. What a baseball moment this is. It has never happened before here in St. Louis. And Mike Shannon, this is one of the greatest moments that you and I and Joe Buck have ever shared.
61.
It gives you some goosebumps there.
Yeah. Anytime you can get the great Jack Buck, got to do it. I did hear Jack Buck say later that he hated that call, that he scripted it ahead of time. 61 headed for Planet Maris. He said I don't do that. I don't know why I did it, but I did, and he did not like the call.
No. I think it sounded just fine.
It's fine, man.
It sounded like he was just caught up in the moment, and that happens at times.
And that was against Cubs, and then of course he would hit 62 against the Cubs. Steve Traxel and Joe Buck nationally called the game because it was when he came to the plate for his first at bat in '98 when he was sitting on 61 after this. The call is Jack Buck, or Joe Buck. Welcome everybody who's watching this. We welcome you to St. Louis. And I mean, it was a national thing. They broke in nationally for McGwire at bats, and good for Big Mac. He got it done right away.
Yeah,
that low line drive that went over the left field wall.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that was 62. But on this day, 1998, yesterday, I say on this day, September 7th of '98, number 61. For Mark McGwire. All right, Coach Took going to join us at Wings Etc. at the Coach's Show. Now you've got your SEMO red polo on. That would lead me to believe there's a chance that you will be present in the banquet room at Wings Etc. today.
Pretty good chance.
Okay,
pretty good chance.
All right, and Cole Rubel is going to be there as well. Are you interested in the Monday Night Football game in Chicago? Vikings Bears tonight. Troy Aikman, Joe Buck on the call, ESPN.
For the sake of it being a sport, I'm interested. Can't say that I'm overwhelmed by either of those two teams, but
you'll be focused and up, ready to go with an energy drink at 8:40.
Right
when they throw the first pitch in Seattle, Cardinals Mariners.
Now you got me geared up for the Cardinals again. After you say there's a chance, so I'll have that tuned in. For sure. For a while.
Miles Michaelis against right-hander Brian Wu is your pitching matchup. So Miles Michaelis versus Cal Raleigh tonight.
Home run derby.
Let's go. Raleigh sitting on 53. Ohtani's got 48. He hit 2 yesterday. Has now tied the single-season home run record for the Dodgers. And of all the players over the years, now when you think Dodgers, you don't think offensive players, in their all-time history. You think more of their pitchers.
Sure.
They've always had great pitchers. Obviously, highlighted by Koufax, Kershaw, Don Drysdale, list goes on and on. So who do you think he tied for the single-season home run record in the history of Dodger baseball with 48? I know. I didn't know. Mookie Betts just did it a few years ago. He had 48.
Okay. I was thinking it was probably a more recent player, but I couldn't.
Duke Snyder? I mean, you just think of.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know who it was.
Yeah. That you're right. I mean, pitching is usually what they're known for.
So,
saw where he tossed a few triple-digit pitches the other day as well.
Yeah,
he did.
He pitched well, but they lost the game. They needed those home runs yesterday. They're in a little bit of a tailspin. All right. You and I back tomorrow. We've got Coach's Show today. Say hello to the radiant and ravishing Dawn Shawn. So she's coming off her 12-hour shift, right, this morning, and you would not believe this 3-car accident that she got behind, Mike. The pictures she sent me were pretty much unbelievable in terms of just look at the traffic back up,
man,
up in the St. Louis area. I mean, it took her forever. I think she is probably home now, but I know she was stressed out about having to wait after all of that traffic through the accident. And then something, when she was driving, flew up and hit the front of her car, so she was worried about car damage. It's a rough morning for her, so hope her day gets turned around. All right, we will see you over at Wings Etc.
See you there.
All right, that is the lead singer of the Mike Reddick Band. Stay tuned. Clinton and Friends coming up next on ESPN Radio. Enjoy your Monday, everybody.